Hello everyone, in this video I'll be showing you a build guide for the Dragontamer class mod made by Yulestar here, where you get to pick a ice, lightning, or fire dragon and it levels up alongside you. There are two different subclasses and I'll be covering I guess both of them kind of in this video. So there's a melee version and a ranged version which uses a bow to attack. Now what we will be selecting for ability scores here depends on if we're going to be going into the melee, which I would recommend going strength, or range. I'm going to do the range for this video, so I'm going with 16 dexterity. Now, a big choice here at the very start, you got to pick your ice, fire, or lightning dragon. Previously, I did a build covering the lightning dragon. I'm going to go with the cold because I prefer cold dragons, but pick the one that you like best. It's really up to you. Fire is going to be the weakest of the three because there's a lot of resistances to fire, whereas ice and lightning have less resistances and you can double their damage. Now, with this ability score spread, we're going with 14 strength, 16 dex, and constitution. Make sure you have a bit of wisdom for saves, and make sure you select your skill proficiencies. If on console, you'll have to toggle the +1 and +2 bonuses first and enable the skill proficiencies for this to work. I also want to mention this mod recently got updated, so Yulestar, I actually covered in my best mods of the week video. They've been putting a lot of work into this, and Sumer Dagnoth has actually helped out, the creator of the 5e fighter subclass combined and many other mods like that. So awesome to see collaborations like that happening in the Baldur's Gate 3 modding community. At level 2, we get our class features, training with shield and light armor, and also the dragons age quickly, so your dragon will be a little bit larger. You also get the intrusive thoughts, so you can talk to dragons and other creatures of the like. Into level 3, we get to choose our subclass, and this is where we get our armor proficiencies. So the elemental archer, so this will give us medium armor proficiency, or I guess light armor proficiency. It used to be medium armor proficiency, and you get hand crossbow, heavy crossbow, longbow, and light armor. And the elemental swordsman gives you medium and heavy armor proficiency, short sword, long sword, great sword proficiency. And with this, the elemental archer, you get to apply your dragon's elemental ball to your weapon for 3 turns. And your dragon will also attack those that you attack too, which is pretty cool. And I'll show that off in the combat section of this video. So yeah, we're going to go with the archer version, but you can go with the melee version. This also gives us superiority die that gives us some different archery trainings here. So we get like disarming attack. Evasive footwork's kind of nice, giving you disadvantage on the next attack against you, and this is a free action. I like disarming attack. I think this is really powerful because then you can pick up the enemy's weapon. And we get to take a feat here. I would recommend just boosting the dexterity or taking the alert feat for the +5 to our initiative, but dexterity will give us better range attack rolls, better armor class, and better initiative as well. This gives us an extra attack at level 5, it's huge. And we also got Who Wants Cookies, which will heal our dragon as a bonus action. And Get Help. I mean, this could work. Let's play Get Help. So level 6 gives us another upgrade to the dragon. We also get elemental charges. So this stacks up and then we can utilize these special abilities a little bit later on, and your dragon gets these abilities. So these stacks will charge up every time that your dragon does an attack, and it'll also deal additional damage when they attack. And with this, we get the Dragon Style Combo Multi-Arrow. So this does 3 quick attacks here that are less precise, dealing 2 times your normal ranged weapon damage. So yeah, it's pretty cool. It costs 3 stacks of dragon power, and then there's the different combos there. Level 7 gives us the Ice Dragon Arrow, Fire Dragon Arrow, or Lightning Dragon Arrow, and you gain lethargy for 1 turn, which is not good. It basically is, you lose your turn, so just be mindful of that, but this is an exploding arrow that's actually pretty strong. It does use your bonus action as well as your action. Level 8 gives us our bigger dragons here, get more elemental charges, and every time you attack an enemy with a ranged attack, your dragon reacts to your attack and attacks the same target with a tiny breath attack. We also get another feat. Again, I just think the best choice here is dexterity increase for better ranged weapon attack rolls. At level 9, we get a bigger dragon, we get another superiority die, and we get to take another fighting style here. So I think that going with a trip attack can be nice to knock targets prone. Distracting attack can be kind of nice to set up your teammates to get advantage on their next attack. Evasive footwork is pretty good though too, because this will give enemies disadvantage on melee attacks against you just for free for 1 turn. It uses superiority die. So it's your choice between, I guess, any of these here. I'm going to go with the trip attack here. The defensive boost is quite nice though. Level 10 gives us a bigger dragon, and also the dragon can now do 2 actions per turn. And you also get the ice, fire, and lightning dragon arrows there, so a little bit more powered up. Level 11 gives us their dragons grown in size, and get 1 additional stack on attack for a total of 3 per attack, so you're getting more charges that use your more powerful abilities. You also get the life exchange, change a part of your health to heal your dragon for the same amount. Pretty good, but it hurts you a lot. And for the final level here, we get the Dragon's Rage. You unlock a way to use all of its energy in 1 fatal attack, unlocking the spell Dragon's Rage, but at what cost? And you also get more elemental charges there, and the lightning dragon arrows are powered up. Now, there is a mod to get all the abilities by level 12. So if you want to take this to level 12, there's a separate mod for that. I'm going to be showing you a level 20 version because there is some special abilities that they added here. I think the best choice here is the alert feat for our level 12 feat, and we'll continue on to level 20 here. Although you don't have to, you can end it off there. This gives us a larger dragon and another archery training here, so we can just go ahead with taking one of these until level 14. Dragon Rider. As your dragon gets bigger and bigger, you're able to ride your dragon to overcome distance. And this is what Sumer Dagnoth helped out with, which is, I just think, awesome to see. Level 15 gives us Indomitable. When you fail a saving throw, you can re-roll it like a fighter. You also get 4 per attack of stacks of your to do your more powerful spells. You also get the Sheer Cold Arrow. Your arrow creates a Sheer Cold zone for 2 rounds. It freezes everything inside, takes 5 to 30 cold damage, and can freeze targets, which makes them take double damage from force, bludgeoning, and thunder damage. There's also the Flaming Beam Shot there, which blinds and fires all creatures, or the Electromagnetic Pulse, pulls anything to the middle, but I think the Sheer Cold Arrow is actually by far the best, because Frozen is such a good condition in Baldur's Gate 3. Now, we also are getting the Concentrated Magic, so the dragons get 16 new abilities in this update, which is just awesome to see. We also get another feat here, so you could go with the Savage Attacker if you really wanted to. I guess this is more so for melee builds. Sharpshooter, pretty good choice, plus 10 to damage, minus 5 to attack rolls. If you want to go with something like that, it can work very well. And you also add in the Crossbow Expert a little bit later on, so you can use hand crossbows at close range with the Ballast Armor for crazy damage. At level 17, we get improved critical hit chance, which is awesome. I'm always a fan of getting more, as a 5% increase your overall critical hit chance. Monstrosity, as your dragon gets bigger, enemies are scared from it, and it's battle cry. So yeah, pretty cool. Elemental charges alongside it as well. Your dragon also gets bigger. Level 19, improved extra attacks. You make 2 extra attacks, and that's obviously quite powerful. You could go with an increase here if you wanted to. I'm going to take the Crossbow Expert feat. If you don't like the choices here, the Tough feat is great because it will give us extra 40 health. It's always a good thing. And you can even go with like the Sentinel feat too, which is always nice to take. And to level 20, this gives us another improved critical hit chance by now 10% total. And we get special abilities. So there's the Unchain the Bond here. So all your elemental stacks, minimum 14, unchain your strongest bond, and power your dragon. Your dragon gets the status power overflow, enabling the use of Unity Cataclysm, but at a cost, gain lethargy for 2 turns. So yeah, a very powerful ability, but you lose 2 turns of yourself. So yeah, that's quite a cost, but really cool. And I'll show this all off in combat. If you're wondering, the armor is the Valkyrie Queen armor by Ren. Now, as for gear, I went the Mask of Soul Perception to boost our attack rolls to offset Sharpshooter. However, you can go with even the Horns of the Berserker, Scabby Pugilist, Circlet. Early game, Haste Helm works well. I also got the Cloak Protection, but take whatever you want there. The Ballast Armor works really well here because we got Crossbow Expert and we got Sharpshooter. So that's going to be, the Sharpshooter gives now plus 20 to damage for at close range because of this Aura of Murder, which doubles all piercing damage. And it says unless they're immune to it, but it actually works on immunities as well, which is crazy. And it also gives a bonus to our initiative, so we guarantee go first. Now, I'm going all in on the cold theming here. So I got the Winter's Clutches here, which gives us, whenever we deal cold damage, 2 turns of encrusted with frost on the target. And the Snowburst Ring, creating an ice surface around the target. Also, the boosted Stormy Clamor here. But if you wanted to go for different gloves, the Gloves of Dexterity work well here. You can even go with anything that's going to be not medium or heavy armor, but even the Martial Exertion Gloves or the Wondrous Gloves for extra armor class. Now, I have the Knife of the Undermountain King here. You can also use Fowler Alluve. Those are 2 Act 1 weapons that just work well all the way through to the end. The reason I'm taking this is it gives us increased critical hit chance, and we reroll the damage die, which is nice. And Viconia's Walking Fortress here. Now, what I'm going to do is actually apply the hand crossbows here, and I'm going to go with the Hellfire hand crossbow in the main hand. Nair Mister in the offhand is nice, but I'm going to go with the Fire Stoker there. And I'm going to take my teammate and give them the Drake Throat Glaive there. And then with me, first make sure that your character goes ahead and pulls out their crossbow and then puts it away. So this makes it their active weapon. And then you can take this here, the elemental weapon, and apply the cold onto your crossbow. So theming with our dragon, we now have cold damage on our bow, which is really good. And it'll also pair with the Snowburst Ring to create ice surfaces, and that's just crazy. And don't forget to summon in your dragon there. So levels 13 to 20 version of it. It's going to be pretty big. So we'll summon in our big dragon friend there. Boom. No, who's a good dragon? Who's a good icy dragon? And you can see here, the dragon has so many different abilities, and they get more as they level up. There's 16 different abilities here. It's pretty crazy. Even the fear, which is so good. All right, so our first turn of combat, we really benefit from being close because of the Ballast Armor here, which will also apply Reverberation and the Aura of Murder. So that's really good. Now, we got arrow attacks here, so we can do things like Disarming Attack, which is always nice. We have 5 superiority die there that we can use. So boom, we can drop their weapon, which is really useful. And then our dragon does a follow-up attack on the enemy, which is crazy. So just to illustrate that there, boom, our dragon will breathe ice at them, encrusting them with frost. And yeah, that's great because then they'll also slip on their ice surface. So then we get the extra attacks. We'll go with an arrow mini targets just because we got ice damage on our attacks, which will set up multiple ice surfaces. The dragon will still attack the first target that you target there. But the beautiful thing about arrow mini targets is with this setup, we can actually apply ice on 4 targets at a time. I might slip on the ice there. No, we're good. So boom, you can see there, ice surfaces below everybody. The combination of that plus arrow mini targets plus the snowburst ring in the Drake Throat Glaive is crazy. So we'll go ahead here, applying more ice surfaces around the enemies. So you see there, slip and fall. And this is perfect. We now have crowd control around every enemy in the game currently. So massive. And then what we can do is you can use the disarming attack. And if we have enough movement speed, we can go ahead and grab the weapon. They're down, so it doesn't even matter. And if we want, we can use the evasive footwork here to make it so that the enemies will have disadvantage of their attacks against us. So that just further boosts our overall survivability. And they have to slip and they'll slip and fall just like you saw there, which is just hilarious. But the crowd control is great. Ranged attackers, you really want to use this cold damage because you can see there, it's 2 actions we didn't have to deal with because of the ice. And they'll also shove each other around in weird ways to avoid the ice, so that's funny. They shove them even further away. We have Frost Breath, though, which is pretty nice. We can actually, if there's multiple targets, this is probably the best way to go about doing this. And the dragons have animations, thanks to Sumer Dag not there. Now, Gust of Wind's pretty nice. The Fear is a huge area of effect, Fear, and Fear is just so good. We can also heal ourselves, or heal our player from our dragon, or heal the dragon from our player. We also have this Ice Ball here, which has a pretty large area of effect. I'm just going to go with the Dragon Ice Breath here, because this is going to give us a... it's not actually going to hit multiple targets, but I'll try to get multiple here if we can. And there's 2 targets, that's at least something. 37, and we actually froze that target, which is huge. So, yeah, frozen for 2 turns, crazy. This also gets 2 attacks, so then we can go ahead with an ice attack on this target here. Boom. And that was enough to finish them off, so perfect. And the enemies end up slipping and falling, so that was perfect. Exactly what we wanted. Now, they moved out of an arrow, or out of our icy surface, so we're going to go ahead with reapplying that there, which is enough to take out the target and then deal a bit of extra damage to those targets. Our dragon's not in range to be able to attack it, but yeah, that's the thing with this. We have to watch out for the ice surfaces ourselves, so be mindful of that. Turn off your dual wielding attacks too to save your bonus actions so you can give your dragon some cookies. I like that approach to it. We just go ahead here. Now we have a little bit less than max health. The dragon is full health. I was going to heal it there, but yeah, we'll end our turn there because we're actually doing a pretty good number on them. This is the enemy that got shoved, and now they have to run through multiple patches of ice, which is difficult terrain, which reduces their overall movement speed. Our dragon gets its next attack here. This target's frozen solid with low amount of health. Crazy. So, well, I guess Dragon Rage can heavily freeze your foes. Crazy. I'm just going to go with we have 1 action here, so we'll just do a Cold Breath on this target, and then I'll go up and use the super powerful, oh my geez, 82 damage on that is nuts. And then we'll try to use the Dragon Rage on this enemy here. I don't think, oh, we're actually in range, so perfect. I'll drop that down over here, and it's a big dragon. Oh, it didn't actually hit the target. That was cool nuke. But yeah, this is your action and your bonus action, so it requires a long rest before it's used, so I kind of wasted that. Kind of unfortunate, but it makes the dragon lethargic afterwards. I don't know why he's running away from that there, but the AI ends up acting weird sometimes with ice surfaces. That's one thing about them. I guess we'll go with the dragon style combo here because we have enough charges to actually use this. You can see the dragon power up the left-hand side. Takes 1 cold damage each turn, so yeah, we now have our sheer cold arrow attack, which I'll just use there and make it mind broken. But boom, sheer cold zone, so they'll take damage over time. Difficult terrain, we'll just skip our turns there. He's saved on the freezing zone twice in a row now. Slipped and fell on the ice though. Not too much of worries. Yeah, we can just continually keep skipping our turns. We got the elemental charges there, which I'll use, and no longer ice surfaces there. So as I mentioned, the dragon can actually take its life and heal you, but we don't really need the health right now. So I guess what we'll do is we'll just go ahead here and use one of our... If I can reach, we can do a multi-attack. Can't reach destination. So I guess we'll just use an Ice Ball. Ice Ball is just a classic large area effect, kind of like a fireball, but ice damage. And boom, there it is. So yeah, I think the ice subclass is the strongest. You get this really cool dragon. You'll start in a fantastic job with this mod. The Dragon Tamer, now available on console. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Hit the subscribe button below if you haven't already, and I hope you have a great day.